Welcome back, viewers. EasyB Tactical. I'm gonna give you today. It's gonna be a video on the update I made to my CZ Scorpion Micro Evo 3S2 or CZ Scorpion Evo 3S2, or also called sometimes CZ Scorpion Micro. If you like the content of our channel, subscribe. If you like this video, give us a thumb like. Remember to stay safe and enjoy the video. Let's get started. Before I do, just kind of the approach that I usually follow is I don't put too much stuff on my firearms. It depends on the usage and my training and when I play with them or use them for sports and shooting, recreational shooting. Some things I know right away I want to change, but most of the time I run the firearm stock first for at least a while, a few rounds, before I make an improvement. That's just my style. Some of you like to get the stuff and completely change them from the back. It depends on what it is, but typically I compare this to an alternative to an MP5 or PTR, an MP5 clone. I also compare it to the Stribog, which I have here, and we'll have another video on what I did to the Stribog as an upgrade, because I've changed my Stribog as well. I've improved it, I should say. This is definitely much more affordable than an MP5. An MP5 is about $1,700-$1,800 if you have a clone. The SP5, I believe, from HK is about $2,000 and the like. But the CZ Scorpion 9mm pistol caliber carbine weighs about 5 pounds stock, I believe. It's got a 20 rounds magazine and 30 round magazines. I've bought a 30 round magazine. I've also changed and got additional magazine. This is an actual CZ mag with a window opening, 30 round mags. I like those. This is loaded with defensive round. But I really like the magazine. They're pretty much the same. I tend to use the window magazine a lot. Let's start from the rear. I did not change the stock. Perhaps I would change it and put something like a Zukov. Maybe I'll install a Zukov stock on it, because I do like the Zukov design. However, this will make it an SBR. This will make it an SBR, and right now this is a pistol configuration. It's good so far. It works. I've trained through it. However, I think perhaps if I wanted to make it foldable, I'll go there. But I did leave this stock because I would like to keep this as a compact weapon as possible, or firearm as possible. The sights are great, but I've added a red dot on top. This is a Romeo MSR, 6R by 6R. Nothing too fancy. I'm not an optic snob. I'm actually not a lot of things snob, because it depends on the value that you give to those devices, right? I don't need to have a $700 optics necessarily for what I do, and the fact that I have a few many, and these are not as much I enjoy the farm. That's not my number one priority. Anyway, Romeo 6R MSR, affordable, manageable, red dot. Actually, this one may be a green dot. So yeah, this is a green dot. Very good. I like green dot. Easier visibility, especially in daytime, I think. This one is night vision compatible, capable. So it's got illumination for additional illumination. The grip, one of the first things I did change after I got the pistol and after I ran a few rounds was the grip. This is a Pakse Pathfinder grip that I got from EasyB Industry. The grip definitely was way too much of an angle for me, and the operation was very challenging. It made your wrist a little tired. This is an example of things that right away a lot of folks through research and forums on the CZ Scorpion, they tend to modify that grip because the stock grip angle is pretty weird for your manual of arms on how you operate the dual safety trigger. I did change the buttons on the dual safety switch. So this is a dual safety switch, and of course the firearm's been checked, no ammunition, no magazine. I did change the safety switch button. I kept it ambidextrous, but I put some different buttons that are a little flatter, because on the stock one, the buttons are so big they hurt your hands when you operate it from the left side. But this one is a little flatter on one side and manageable. I put a light on this pistol. So leveraging the M-lock system, I put a piece of Picatinny 19x13 rail on which I mounted a Valkyrie OLight PL2. I do like those lights. I haven't had them too long. I usually use Streamlight or Surefire, but again, I'm more of a best thing for the best value for the money, without going crazy and without sacrificing quality. There are many brands out there that I think are very good without being overly expensive. So I'm trying this OLight Valkyrie, and I found them bright enough, compact enough, and I wanted something smaller that would fit the design of the firearms. So let's see, we'll see what happened on the OLight. So the way I mount it is all the way to the front, so it doesn't interfere with the operation of the firearm, and I can activate it with my finger as I'm using my support hand. The OLight has 2 buttons. We will have maybe a review on that. It allows you to have different modes: instant on, instant off, and strobe. I believe if you hold both together, you have a strobe function as well. Speaking of the light, it causes a little bit of shadow to the left, but again, I'm getting used to it. It doesn't really keep me from, it won't be an issue. I don't think so, in case I need to operate this in complete darkness. But just a bit of shadow because the suppressor. Now if I remove the suppressor, there's no issue with the shadow or anything like that. So just FYI. I did remove the fake suppressor that the CZ Micro come with. It's a rectangular piece. It was a bit of a challenge to remove it, but I was able to do it successfully using a wrench device that it's sold to adjust some machinery piece. I may put a video reference on that on some other time. However, as soon as I finished, I realized HB Industries sells the tools to remove that fake suppressor. So I should have bought the tool. It would have made my life easier, but that was a fun thing to do. I now put a permanent, well, not permanently attached. I mounted a suppressor, 9mm 300 blackout and 22 Liberty Centurion, in this case, suppressor on the pistol, and I'll usually leave it in this configuration. I think this is a nice and perfect package. If I'm not mistaken, CZ in cooperation with another company makes a suppressor. I forgot the name now. I believe it's called a Reflex, but I'm not sure. I'll check it out. They make a suppressor that actually can go on this gun, on this pistol, and the suppressor has a recessed mounting, so it goes over the barrel and keeps it short and compact. But after measuring, I almost bought that suppressor. After measuring, I realized the Liberty Centurion was a very good compromise, and I already had the can. It still keeps it very short, very compact, and if you compare it to the Stribor, it's just about 4 or 5 inches longer than a stock barrel on the farm. So I really like this package. So I'll have to get another can that makes it dedicated for this farm. For now, the Liberty Centurion is hanging out on this farm. So the other upgrade that I have, which I don't have it installed right now because I put the Liberty permanently attached to this most of the time, is using a tri-lug adapter. So typically I keep a tri-lug adapter there so I can run the Stribor with any other can that has tri-lug. So in this case, this is a Silencer Co Hybrid 46. I've removed the tri-lug on this one as well, but it came from a rifle. But the Silencer Co Hybrid, although big, it also fits on the Stribor, so I'm able to run both suppressors, although this one is much bigger. But typically, this is a scan right here. So suppressing the PCC, very fun, very good for training. When I run it suppressed, I either use subsonic ammunition if I can, but I typically like to run typical blazer round ammunition on that. Suppressor, unsuppressed, I use 115, 1.4 grains, it depends. I'm not too picky, but I really enjoy running Syntec action pistol cartridge like this one on my PCCs, the MP5, the PTR95, the Stribog. Those action pistol are, although this one is not one of them, they're usually 150 grain. They're very fun. I think the pistol like those does round, that caliber and that specific ammunition. The CZ Scorpion is a straight straight blowback design action. So there's a lot of mass coming back at you, but it's very reliable and you can feel the weight and the recoil when you shoot it. It's not unmanageable, but it's not as smooth as the Stribog. Well, the new Stribog, which is roller delayed, this one is not the new one, but it's not as smooth as my MP5 or PTR clone, the clone of the MP5, which are roller delayed blowback. But it make it very reliable. So because of that, you may want to get, for some people, you may want to get a different brace or and convert it into an SB. Put a stock on it. Modification I did before I forget is I installed the trigger reduced weight trigger kit. So I bought from HB Industries, I believe, a set of springs that you install in the trigger to reduce the pull of the trigger, because stock the trigger was also very heavy, definitely heavier compared to the MP5 clone that I have, the Stribog or anything else. So I did enhance the trigger by making it reducing the weight. So I believe it's now around 5 pounds. Let's talk about things that I think I wish were a little different or I may change next. Charging handle, it's quite short. It's very short. I got used to it and I trained based on that because I don't want to make the firearm too bulky, but that may be an improvement for some because it's really just wide enough for your finger, but with enough training and practice you get used to it. So this could be something that maybe if it was just a little larger it would have been better, or longer I should say. One of my big issues is the safety switch. Although I have upgraded it, I found that the mechanism is very tough. So it's not the smoothest. Although I've been using these firearms for a while, my safety switch is still a little hard to operate, especially with a single finger. So it's very hard to switch from safety to unsafe. I did email CZ customer service on that, but I never received an answer. So on that note, I wish the customer service were more reactive, responsive, but they probably don't care. So if you work for CZ, or if you know how to improve this safety switch, not just the button but the action of it itself, let me know in the comments. But this is something that either I'm gonna explore more or find a way to improve. Charging handle. Besides that, I like it. I mean, my philosophy is if you buy it, do enough research so you buy it and you don't regret your purchase, but also train with it. The more training, the more you get to use it, the more comfortable you get to use the firearms. It's hard for me to train with everything that I have, but I do make an effort to rotate what I use in my classes, or the classes that I take, I should say, so that I know the firearm or the tool can be reliable and operate properly when I need it, and I know what to do with it and how to do it properly. I wish I could go to the range and run a bunch of ammo, but with the shortage of ammunition, it's getting challenging to get 9mm round, especially now. I mean, 9mm is expensive or very limited supplies, and both basically. I do like the sights. Maybe they could be better, but they are robust, very sturdy. I ran my CZ Scorpion with stock sights for a long time before I used the red dot. So operation of the firearm is pretty good. magazine release switch. I think it's wide enough. You can use it in both ways, from both sides. Left, if you're left hand shooter, or if you're left shoulder or right shoulder. Again, it's all come down to training and operating of the firearm. So very stable. Although he has more recoil because of the straight blowback and not being a roller delayed blowback, it's still manageable. The platform, the structure, and the frame help with it. It comes stock with the Magpul handguard, which is a key must-have on a short pistol like this. On my strip up, that was one of the upgrades I made. I added a Magpul piece as a Magpul hand stock there for the firearm as well. So let's compare these two. So while extended, this is the same length than my strip bug. Now that I've installed this original stock strip bug, the original stock on the strip bug, this is an XBR by the way. So they have the same length with the suppressor attached. So with a suppressor, this EasyB Scorpion still remain a very compact weapon, and we'll have a video on this strip bug coming up soon. So subscribe to the channel so you can check out my strip bug even more. And I do already have another video on the strip bug. You have to, I believe in training and having a way of mounting the firearm and attaching so you can carry and transition and so on and so forth. So I tend to run either a bungee, single point of contact bungee sling like this one. The Scorpion stock on the brace adapter has a little attachment, direct QD mount sling. So I usually use a bungee like this, or you could also, so it's either this one, or I use my Magpul MS swing, same thing in a single configuration and mounting there, and this is how I carry it. So if you wanted to, I think that's so small, I think the single point of contact, a bungee, perhaps if you don't want a big stretch, but I think the single mount is fine, but you have a couple of additional mounting point on the frame itself if you want to run some loop or other attachment system. So these are my upgrades. Nothing to, don't break the bank. Be realistic, know your priorities. A lot of parts from HB Industries, grip, internal trigger kit, button, and then other parts that you got from other suppliers like Big Daddy and Limited, which I'm not sponsored by any of those guys, but I'm just mentioning where I got the stuff from. The 6R Romeo MSR, the Valkyrie OLight, which I just got. Oh, if you enjoyed, post a comment if you have a question. Let me know some of the upgrades you've made to your EasyB Scorpion Evo 3 S2, or let me know what else you want to see on this channel. I'm going to have a video talking more about my strip bug in the future. And I almost dropped this can. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe. If you're watching this when it first posted, we're still in the COVID-19 quarantine time frame, so don't stop wearing your mask. I think it's too soon to stop acting like everything is back to normal. The cases of COVID-19 infection are keep going up, so please remember, continue to wear your mask when you're close to people or in public or in a closed environment and you are closer than 6 feet from an individual, especially when you don't know the folks. So let's stay safe. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I post a lot of photos on Instagram of the firearms, usually before they come out on the video. Thanks for watching.